Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Tuesdays with Suzanne. And today, the topic we're going to be dealing with is how to work with your own system when you are physically exhausted, as in sleeplessness, which is actually where I'm sitting right now. With full transparency, I got in last night from visiting my mom and my son, and the airplane was later than it should have been and had to get up very early this morning. And so here we are. I want to be here. I know that when I am gathered with you all at this oasis, that I will come away more refreshed. But my focus today is going to be on exactly what's right here in front of me, which is what happens when you have hours less sleep than you really need, and you can feel it. Now, some of us pump right through with adrenaline, and you may not feel it until years later when chronic illness hits or whatever. I have a pretty high commitment to listening to my body. So right now I'm recognizing, I am tired. Could I muscle through? Sure, sure. I absolutely could. And because I have that kind of resilience, do I want to? No, no. And so when this occurs, and all of us have been here, if you haven't been here at least once in the last 18 months, you're not living on the planet Earth, because things have been thrown at us and much has been expected of us again and again and again, beyond, in some cases, what we've ever had to deal with before. So let's take a moment now, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, to drop inside, and to check in with how you're feeling today, in this moment, in this moment. And I'm going to be talking about it with full transparency from my own system. And as I say that, I'm also going to ask you to pay attention to yours, because most of us have multiple levels of tiredness or exhaustion, or some people are running with such anxiety that they can't even feel the tiredness underneath the exhaustion. It's underneath the anxiety. But let's take a moment and see whether you can drop underneath of it and come in for a landing where you live right now, where you live. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And as I came to doing this Tuesdays with Suzanne, the first conversation I had to have with myself was, what does it feel like inside? And I know that when I have not had enough sleep, that I have a sense of tiredness in my shoulders and my back. There's a little bit of achiness towards the back of my head that doesn't really, it's not a headache. It's just a sense of my back having to stay upright when it needed to be horizontal for longer. Yeah. And so I just allow myself to recognize these things. It doesn't mean I have to disappear into them or go down the black hole of tiredness. No. I'm here. I'm recognizing with kindness and compassion what the sensations are this morning. Yeah. And what I do in my external environment in response to this is I offer myself whatever would nourish me most when I am this tired. So this is a time when I never go for sugar. I might have a cup of tea. Right now I have a cup of cacao and coconut milk. But I do things that will nourish me and not just jack my system up, not just get the adrenaline pumping. And I'm noticing, even as I say that in my own system, that I'm feeling the tension in the back of my head, down my back, starting to soften a little because it's being witnessed, it's being heard and seen. And just notice if there are any symptoms within you of tiredness. Sometimes it will be You'll feel a collapse in your body somewhere, in your chest, in your midsection. Sometimes you'll feel tightness in your pelvis or your low back. Sometimes there'll be an overall heaviness. Have a little bit of that. Just notice, what are your symptoms and signs when you feel tired? And then, having recognized it all through your body, ask your system, what do I need? What do I need? What do you need in this moment to refill your energy reserves? Yeah, and I'm feeling my soles of my feet on the floor, making that connection to the earth that is so nourishing. Putting down roots or light beams, rivers of awareness, whatever metaphor works for you. And then opening to receiving, to soaking up whatever would nourish and nurture you most. The other thing I do when I'm this exhausted is I make sure that I'm breathing through my nose. Creates lots of really good brain chemicals, nitric oxide, things like that, that feed your system in a healthy way. So as I breathe those 5 breaths to fill my entire system from the nourishing energy of the earth, the cushion beneath us, I'm going to breathe through my nose, exhaling through my mouth, but breathing in, inhaling through the nose. And so on that first breath, letting your feet all the way to your bone marrow, all the way out to your skin, and all of your legs, calves, knees, shins, thighs, the entire lower half of your body. You're going to take an easy, deep breath. It's as though you're opening the floodgates for only what would nourish and nurture you in terms of sensations, in terms of a sense of yourself. Taking that first breath. Second breath, allowing your low back, your pelvis, all of the organ systems within your pelvic bowl to soak up what they need. Third breath, allowing the rest of your spine deep into your bone marrow and the spinal cord, your ribs, your chest, your breasts, your heart, your lungs, up into your shoulders, allowing this entire area to soak up what it needs as you take an easy, deep breath. Exhaling what you no longer need. Fourth breath, letting it run down your arms into your hands and fingers. And that fifth breath, letting your neck, your throat, your face, your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, your entire brain area to soak up what would nourish this area of who you are. Now, a couple of things that we want to pay attention to. First is to recognize how it feels different than when we began. How it feels different. And one of the things that will often show up when you've gotten less sleep than you need, or when you've really finished something that's been long and hard and grueling, when you really turn on all the lights, sometimes what you'll feel is an achiness. It's like your body is saying, it's not like, your body is saying to you, hey, hey, we need help. We need you to relax and drop in more than you've been doing. The other thing that sometimes happens for me is when I'm tired, when I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling this morning, I have less sensation than I would normally have when I ground and fill. That's okay too. Doesn't mean you're defective. It just means, hey, there aren't quite enough neurons firing because of your tiredness to really be able to feel the fullness of slowing down and dropping in. That's okay too. And you may find that there are other things that show up as well that are different than when you ground and fill normally. Yeah. Good. Good. Noticing your spine. And with each breath that I'm taking, I'm letting all the extra nooks and crannies fill up and plump out. And letting those areas I've already filled plump out a little more with the flow of chi, of energy, coming in from the earth beneath you, traveling through and soaking into every cell that's available. Good. Good. Yeah. And if you're really tired, sometimes you'll feel a little drifty at this point, as though your body is saying, okay, somebody turned off the spigot on the adrenaline, and now what we feel is rest. Take some time and rest. Yeah. So I commit to my body to go lay down when I get done doing this meditation with you all, this exploration of how to return your oasis to full functioning. When you haven't gotten enough sleep, sleep is very, very, very important. My good friend, Dr. Rachel Abrams, would teach about this. She said the very primary foundation level of who we are in terms of thriving is, are you getting enough good sleep? Yeah. So I don't do this very frequently, and when I do, I feel it, the not getting enough sleep. And so I'm committing to going and lying down for an hour and seeing whether I can catch up a little bit here before I go on into my day. And check in with yourself. What does your body, mind, spirit need right now? Right now. I'm hearing more sleep. You may be hearing more movement. You may be hearing, I need to feed myself in a more healthy way. Yeah, some of us dive right into caffeine or sugar or alcohol when we are depleted to fuel the system and keep it going. Yeah. So asking your being, your inner body, what do you need? Notice what images show up, what felt sense shows up. Yeah. And sometimes whatever shows up, if you're questioning it, imagine yourself doing that. So for instance, walking or going to sleep or having a cup of tea or whatever. Imagine yourself doing it. Feel it, sense it, see it. And what do you notice in your body as you give yourself what it is your system is asking for? Good. Good. Sometimes you'll get a visual image. Sometimes you'll hear someone whispering in your ear. Sometimes you just know what you need, or you have a felt sense. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. Allowing yourself to soak up whatever it is. Allow that future event to pour into your body right now. If it's sleep, let the restfulness of the sleep flow through you. Yeah. If it's an activity, feel what that activity would feel like in your body. Mm-hmm. Good, good. Soaking up what you need, filling up. And noticing just from this brief, quiet space we've created, what it feels like to be you right now. As your eyes open, coming from the internal, including the external again. Yeah. And may you have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are. And know that you can come back to this meditation, this exploration, anytime you find yourself without enough sleep, in exhaustion, all of those things. And enjoy.